I'm Troy Michael Goldman. I'm the product integrity guy here at Suncoast Resources, and I want to talk about fluid cleanliness. Cleanliness is a very important part of machinery reliability. And when we talk about cleanliness, really what we're talking about is the lack of contamination. In particular, when we're looking at storage tanks, there are 3 points of possible contamination, and one is actually inside the tank. This is a 10,000 gallon tank, not actual size, and inside the tank you may get rust or biological growth, or in the old days they used to paint the inside of the tanks, but they don't do that much anymore, although they still exist out there, painted tanks. And rust exists in the presence of iron, it's oxidized iron, and water, and biological growth requires water, so we'll talk about water in a second. The other source is ingress. The other two sources, rather, are ingress. That means that the contaminants are somehow getting inside the tank from the outside. The most common is through the breather. The breather allows the tank to suck in air as you're pumping fluid out through the other side of the tank. If you take a straw, and we've all done this, and you put your finger over the straw and pull the straw out of the cup, the fluid stays inside the cup, inside the straw, until you take your finger off and then it pours out. That's because it allows air to flow in. So air has to be able to flow in order for the fluid to flow out. That means that for every cubic foot of fluid that you move out of the tank, you have to move a cubic foot of air into the tank. Air is dirty, and if you don't believe me, turn off your ceiling fan, wait till it comes to a stop, take a look at it, and you'll see that there's a trim line of dirt right on the leading edge of your ceiling fan. And how can that happen? I mean, your house is clean, you're running it through a filter, you gotta have an air conditioner. Well, air is dirty, that's how it happens. It's also wet. So in order to prevent dirt and water from coming into the tank through there, there's a desiccant breather that'll dry the air as it comes in, and good desiccant breathers will also filter out particles. The other source for contamination inside the tank is through the fill port. This is real common. People think to themselves, I have brand new oil, it should be clean. Well, it's not. Every time oil is handled and moved and transferred from one thing to another, all the way from the refinery to your tank, it has a possibility of getting dirty and contaminated with particulates, water, and whatnot. So, Chevron has a process called IsoClean, and that is where the fluid is pre-filtered, certified by Chevron prior to it ever going into your tank in the first place. So if you follow these 3 processes, you're going to eliminate the water, which will eliminate the biological growth, which will eliminate the rust, and you're going to have fuel that you can use, fuel or fluids, and you're going to have fluids that you can use for a long, long time.